Guys, it's that time. Sunday night football. You want to talk about butterflies in your balls. There's going to be a lot of that going on. And my take, everybody's going to tell you that the playoffs start Saturday, January, whatever. The playoffs start Sunday night in Detroit. The loser of the game is going to suit up again. I get that. But the loser of this game is not going to win or make the Super Bowl. And that is why this is a theoretical playoff game. Lions, 2.5-point favorite. Over under 56.5. Both teams 14-2. The irresistible force versus the immovable object, Matt. I feel like this is going to be I haven't even made my pick yet, so I just can't wait to see what we got.
Wow. Yeah, this is an exciting game. And, listeners to this podcast and you guys know, I've had a feud growing with the Minnesota Vikings, and it's got me super invested in this, like way more than I should be as a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I should not really care about this at all. But, I was watching the Minnesota Green Bay game last week, and I was like kind of riding hard for the Packers. They lost. This is kind of what it feels like, to lose. And it's tough, dude. But I don't know. I keep interacting with these Minnesota folks, and the interactions keep getting dumber and dumber. I don't know. A lot of your mama jokes lately now and things of that nature from like Iraqi veterans that like on their profile have like a photo of an AR-15. They're like, if a terrorist ever breaks into my home, they're going to say hello to my AR. And, they didn't let you respond. They have only people that follow them can respond. I know I'm rambling here a bit. Exciting stuff, guys. Exciting stuff. And here's the thing. I'm going to make the case for the Minnesota Vikings for you guys. Sam Darnold in that system, awesome. That defense with Brian Flores, they're tricky. They're tough, right? Justin Jefferson, probably the best receiver in the league. I would say that. And Kevin O'Connell, great offensive mind. They have a lot of things going for them, guys. But the thing they don't have going for them, Bass Daddy, we talk about this a lot off air, Dan Campbell, right? This guy's going to have these boys fired up like never before. Brian, like you said, playoffs start Sunday night in Detroit, Motor City. Oh, it's going to be exciting, man. It's going to be exciting. You know what? I wasn't going to make my pick yet. I'm going to do it. I like Ben Johnson. I think he's going to be a couple chess moves ahead of that Minnesota defense, and it's going to be some gadget plays. Something weird's going to happen. I've got it being high scoring. It's going to be close. It is 32-9 or 32-29. The Detroit Lions finish off the Minnesota Vikings. Thanks for coming out, Vikings. Fraudulent after all.
Man, I don't know. These Vikings fans, man, they've been giving it to you good for the last couple of weeks. And let's be honest, they have the upper hand. They're the ones who are right so far. You have egg all over your face, your tits, your ass. How many times?
Hold up. Before we talk about egg all over my tits and ass, I was referring to the Kansas City Chiefs in the initial video, and then it was just their reaction that has now made me like, yeah, the Vikings are frauds, actually. And then I looked through their schedule this week because I'm like, who have they played? They beat the Jaguars 12-7. They beat the Jets, the Giants. It's a trash-ass schedule, okay? Onward.
I mean, they did just beat the Packers last week, and they hung to the very. Did they go to overtime with Detroit the first time? I think. Got to get out of here with the schedule stuff. I think this is clearly a good football team.
That's it. That's the only good teams they play.
Bass Daddy, you're dying to chomp here. What do you got?
I don't know. I just seeing how Detroit looked against San Francisco, I'm not really too sold on them. That defense is fucking horrible. Reminds me a lot of the passing defense that they have. Reminds me a lot of Cincinnati's. So I think that could be a big concern, especially going up against Jefferson and Hawkinson, Addison.
And I'll say that as well. The Lions do have that not going for them. They are broken down. That defense does blow. I don't know. That's going to be tough to overcome. It absolutely is. I will agree with you on that.
I've got Detroit picked to win 29-27 right here. But seeing how their defense looked against Josh Dobbs and Brock Purdy, this seemed like they didn't have a whole lot of answers. So I don't know how they're going to have answers for Darnold and those guys. So I'm going to swap it. 29-27 Minnesota wins.
All right. Wow.
Minnesota going to be the one
Matt,
seed.
Yeah, for it all. Guys, do you have a take on this? Do you have something you want to get off your chest, pal?
Matt, I was just going to say, I was unaware of this interactions going on between you and these Vikings fans online. But you can feel free to send them all of my. You can send them my link tree. You can send them my phone number. You can send them my address, and I'll stand right there with you because these people are crazy. I don't think this football team. I'm not going to say they're not any good. Obviously, you don't win 14 games in the regular season and have a chance at the 1 seed if you're not a pretty good football team. But, I mean, I think this season, for the most part, smells exactly like it did a few years ago with Kirk Cousins. I think this team's going to lose to the Detroit Lions. I think they're going to go into Los Angeles. I think they're going to lose to the Rams, and I think they're going to go home at the end of the year at 14-4 and lose the only 2 games that really matter. And I think you guys voiced all the right concerns, so I won't rehash them too much. It's going to be a shootout, but I think Ben Johnson just literally schemes and wills this team to the 1 seed. I'll take Detroit 37, Minnesota 31.
Let's go, Caius. That's exactly what I said. They've been in my inbox for weeks. Like, people, you'd be surprised. I'll get messages from people from Minnesota like, you're a dumbass. like literally.
Minnesotans are typically decently nice people, but I guess when you mess with their mediocre franchise, they like to pipe up a little bit.
They get fired up, brother. They really do. Brian, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm going to take it. Unbelievable that you've got these franchises, both of which, right, have high hopes for a first Super Bowl title in their history. But like I said earlier, guys, this is a playoff game. The loser of this game will not be making the Super Bowl. Deep down, they both know it. And that's why Sunday night is going to be so critical. Yes, Detroit is a fireworks show on both sides of the ball. Just a disaster on defense. Offensively, they feel unique, almost rare. I feel like they can score kind of whenever they want. It's weird because Jared Goff's not a top 5 quarterback, but you watch them play and they're just instant offense. At home, this environment is going to be electric. And when push comes to shove, I think Detroit finds a way. Dan Campbell finds a way, man. He gets his troops on one accord once again, earns that bye week, and then we have to again consider, even with the defensive issue, we have to say, yeah, they're going to be the toughest out in the NFC somehow, some way. Lions 38, Vikings 34. Shootout. Pew, pew,
I'm a little surprised you went that direction, man.
Picking the Lions or picking a high-scoring game?
Lions. I thought you were going to be on the Vikings side all day.
I have to pick it just the way I feel, and that's how I feel. So,
respect that. I was prepared to put a very large wager on the line.
Yeah.
If you went different.
Brian, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head too, and kind of just sums it up. You said, this is a playoff game. I don't know if anybody's checked lately that the Vikings don't win playoff games. So,
well, this is the biggest game of Sam Darnold's career.
By far.
Thank God he's got the receivers he has, because and thank God the Lions defense is so bad. I think he's going to play well because of those circumstances, or else, if he was going up against stout defense, let's be honest, Darnold's throwing 3 picks.
I agree.
There's no doubt.
I agree.
But in this environment with the offense that they have versus that defense, I think he's set up to succeed, not win.
I like it. I like the take.
Great discussion so far. Do